Good morning. I think it's 4:30. I'm beginning to think that I should call this channel Christine's Kitchen. And that way I can just talk freely about everything I feel about the state of the world right now and why I really am living in Mexico. The number one reason I live here, it's beautiful, it's paradise, especially in this area in Lago de Chapala. You can look it up. I have chronic heart failure and I can't afford health insurance in the US. No. At 62, I know it says over 60, I'm 62. I am here because of that reason alone. I had to stop because Gia is like pawing me. She's hungry. If I'm awake, she's awake. Look, come here. Gia, say hello. Hello, baby. And you don't know what you're saying. That's my Gia. So, my little lasab. So, I'm going to give her some food. And then I'm going to make something. So yesterday morning I was at a 2.5-hour rehearsal for a big show that I'm doing. I'm co-producing and directing. And that's May 1st to the 3rd at the Bravo Theater. And it's called Cinemusic 2026. The brainchild of Christy and her ex-husband from many years past. But because she had done it before, I came in to kind of redevelop it, change it, add comedy, different music, different movies, different eras. All well and good. Then I came home and I cleaned because I was supposed to have a date after our matinee show of Something Rotten last night. And, at the last minute, he couldn't make it. After I prepped all the shrimp, cremini mushrooms, to prepare a really nice meal. So I'm going to make that for us at 4:30 in the morning because the world is on fire. You aided in the capture of Mencho, actually his assassination from the Mexican government. It wasn't Shane Baum. No, it really was Trump. And then, of course, now you're trying to eradicate all of Iran, the birthplace of civilization. All the antiquities of life are going to disappear. Everything. You already obliterated 180 schoolgirls in one school. So, that aside, we're going to make some shrimp and pasta. Okay, trying to be less emotional and more concentrated in what I'm going to talk about. I think first of all, because I live in Mexico and you want to know what life is like here, and I start off with telling you that I don't have health care in the US. That's one of the main reasons why I remain here. But I do love it here. It's beautiful. It's paradise. I have amazing friends. I have amazing life. I work in theater constantly. Actually too much. It's never ending here. Constantly putting on shows, new ideas. Just keeps evolving, and I truly don't think I could ever find that in the US anywhere at this level. However, the cartels are a tricky subject. When I'm asked about it from my children, even my grandchild, she's now 18, other friends in the US who are terrified of coming here, terrified. I have to look at it in the same vein as mass shootings in the US and actually the percentage of people that are armed in the US, illegally or legally, without having any kind of background checks, just everybody carries firearms. Everyone in the US. So it's like any given moment, if they're legally allowed to carry, that's terrifying. And then watching mass shootings constantly in the US doesn't compare with what the cartel does here. In fact, the death toll of Americans, US citizens, because we're all Americans, all throughout the Americas. U.S. citizens, after the cartel shutdown of the government, the country, a week and a half ago, I think what it was like 2 or 3 people, and it was all pretty much accidental. They did car bombings, bus bombings, OXXO bombings, but cartel went in and warned the people, we're going to bomb this place. We're going to torch this place. Get out. So they allowed civilians to get out. Now, there might be some friendly fire in between and people got killed, and that happened. And now when the government came in and took out Mencho, yes, 26 servicemen, military from the U.S., not U.S., the Mexican government lost their lives. And that's very, very tragic. And then equally, almost about the same amount of the cartel also lost their lives. And that's less tragic, but it's tragic overall. Nothing like what's happening right now in Iran, Jerusalem, and the U.S. 186 schoolgirls between the ages of 8 and 12 are dead in Iran. No warning, just bomb the shit out of them. Let's start with some shrimp scampi. Well, I bought a bunch of flat leaf parsley, Italian parsley. So I'm going to put it in a large glass so it stays fresher longer and keep it in my refrigerator. This is part of the food that I'm going to make today, this morning at 4:30 in the morning, because I can't sleep. Because I was basically stood up, but also I worked hard, and I can't believe the news today, as YouTube would say. I can't believe the news today. I can't close my eyes and make it go away. How long must I sing this song? How long? It's too late. Well, this is pretty much my ingredients. The shrimp that I deveined and deshelled, and then poured a lot of lemon juice. Kind of did a combination, a sweet lime, because I let it age in my tree, with lemon and a little Himalayan salt. Put that in the refrigerator for the last couple of hours. I cleaned and cut up, sliced my creminis. I've got my garlic that I peeled, and just a couple of chili de árbol, which when it's all crushed up, it's very, very similar to just your regular Italian chili flakes. About the same potency too. And then of course at the very end, I've got the Parmigiano. What you don't see here is olive oil or butter, because I am going to cook my shrimp in butter. And here's my butter. Vaca Blanca, mantequilla. Mantequilla is butter, and so this is actually very good. Of course, I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm just going to use a couple tablespoons to simmer this down. Once it turns red, and I cook the pasta, which is going to be, I believe, just a regular Italian pasta after I find it in my pantry, which is everywhere in my house. Stay tuned. I just realized you can still see my zit. You know, a watch pot never boils, so I have to walk away. Almost ready to make the rest of the meal. So I'm using, this is my all-clad that I bought from a friend. I got 3 pots from her. So taking out the big guns, totally worth the purchase. Even for just 3 of them, that they have been used for quite a few years by them. Scrubbed up and clean, all clad is just like so amazing to work with. All right, I'm gonna get that heated up, start the shrimp. All right, so I'm cutting up my garlic. I could have thinly sliced it, that might have probably been better, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna I'm using 2 fairly decent sized cloves. I know, it's only for me. I love the show Pasta Grammar on YouTube, but Ava does not like garlic. And well, you know what? I love garlic and it's good for you. So I'm gonna pop that into my heated up oil right now. Actually, I'll do that after I warm up my shrimp. I'm talking backwards. So at the same time, I'm gonna put the garlic in. I'm also gonna put the chili de herbal, and I'm just gonna kind of roughly chop it. Yeah, I love the heat, and these are intense, especially when you let out the seeds. I'm not afraid. I actually have a friend that will eat these raw, just like take a dried chili de herbal and just put it in his mouth. Pretty impressive. I am not that daring. All right, so I'm gonna put a big dollop of butter in there. I'd say that's probably about 1.5, maybe 2. Oh, it's 1.5 tablespoons. That should be enough. I think I have maybe 15 shrimp in there. And again, this was already marinated for quite a while, quite a few hours, since I was rejected on my date tonight. Okay. After 8 years of living alone in Mexico, I've got to find another plan. I'm kind of concerned about dying alone. Yeah, I'll be honest. I have friends and family, and that's wonderful. But I just think I'm too young not to have a partner. So I'm not going to make it a goal. I'm kind of leave it in God's hands. Oh, speaking of God, this jihadist mentality of saying that Trump is the anointed one from God, and that our soldiers should prepare for Armageddon and the second coming of Jesus is insane. Insane. Now, I've been a Christian all my life, not always practicing, but many years actually working in a church as a drama minister. So, and on a worship team, these thoughts are antithesis of Christianity. I don't understand what's happening. Do you? Hey. This is a medium heat. Should take about a second. So the nice thing about adding lemon and a little bit of salt to your shrimp before you prepare it and let it sit for a couple hours is it almost pre-cooks it. So that's why it cooks very fast like this. Whoops. I added a little more butter because I'm not going to do olive oil this time, just the butter. And then now that the pasta water is starting to cook, I'll add pasta water into this to thicken it. Be right back. Now that the shrimp is almost done, I'm going to add in my garlic and the chili de herbal. Stir that up a bit. Let that cook for a few seconds. This is really pretty. Look at that. And I should have maybe used a bigger skillet, but again, this was only going to be for me, but there's definitely enough for 2 or 3 people in this pot. Come on over. My water is boiling. I'm using di vera, durum wheat, semolina, pasta, and not too much. Maybe just that. Because if you're coming over, I gotta feed you. Yay. So I'm worried about overcooking the shrimp, so as soon as this gets swirled in, it's almost there. I actually want to take the shrimp out now, because there's nothing worse than having tough shrimp. And I'm going to cook the cremini separately and then add them all together. Oh, the sauce smells heavenly already. That looks good. Crimini's going. Even though I marinated the the shrimp with the lemon. Oops. Shoot. Stop that. So even though I marinated the shrimp with the lemon, I really want some lemon zest, some kind, and some more lemon juice. I really like the lemon. Yeah. It's kind of more like a lemon butter pasta with shrimp. I think that's enough for what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to add half a lemon juice, half a lemon. The rest of this I'll save for other meals. Never let anything go to waste. I'm gonna take out the bigger stems and my flat leaf parsley. Now, when I'm cooking stews, I throw this in. I chop up the thicker ones and just throw it into my stew pot, or when I'm making a vegetable broth, even a chicken broth. Again, don't waste anything. Use it all. It's there for a reason. Everything about this plant is edible. I bet you I could eat the roots too. Whoops, a hugely dear bowl is still left. That's gonna go back in. So how is this strange Christian fundamentalist idea that Armageddon is nigh and the second coming of Christ is upon us and that we have to eradicate all of Islam? How is that any different than jihad? Please tell me. I want to know about the insanity of this. It's terrifying to me. It's World War III. We have to stop this. I think there's only one way. If it's really Netanyahu and not Trump, or if it's their little club that they have, their little bromance, how do we end this before so many lives are going to be lost? And so many lives have already been lost already. Back to pasta. So the mushrooms are nicely cooked, as you can see. Put that down a little bit more. And the pasta is almost finished. It needs about 5 more minutes. I'm going to combine these two right now. Oh, shrimp, spicy shrimp sauce, yummy. Some black pepper. Because there's a lot of salt in the pasta water, I actually added more to it because it needs to taste like the sea. That's what I've been told. So now it tastes like the sea. Al dente. Here we go. Ooh, I bet that's up. No, it's just mama. It's just mama. Oh, I could have made more pasta. I probably did a quarter of, doesn't say how many ounces, 500 grams. So a quarter of that, I should have made more. Could have done half, 250. It's okay, baby. I'll give you a little spaghetti. Oh, wow, nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to stir this for a while until it gets a little creamy. Add a little more pasta water. And of course, Parmesan. I'm going to grate some of that in there. I know I'm using a microplane, but I think it's okay. It'll help when I stir it and try to thicken it. And then I'll add a lot more at the very end. It's gonna need a lot. Whoops. It's time to plate. I stirred and stirred. I added a little more pasta water to it. And as you can see, I could have cooked a lot more pasta. That's okay. I can do that later. I'm not doing too fancy. But the water thickened up a little bit, which is nice. So we have a really good sauce. Oops. I'm not going to edit that. This happens to all of us. Hello. Yeah. Oops. Now, I got some of that beautiful shrimp on top. These creminis. The garlic. Oh my God. I'm telling you. Wow. I am a slob, but hey. Shrimp on top. Let's go put some flat leaf parsley on it. Wow. Why can I see it? And then, of course, I'm going to add some more Parmesan in just a minute. Move that over there. Can we see what I'm doing? I think so. Put this here. A beautiful Parmesan. Oh, I didn't add wine. And I guess I could have, but I tasted and it tastes wonderful. In fact, I think I'll have the wine with it. Oh yeah. Maybe a little more. You can never have enough. Look. What do I call this? Midnight shrimp scampi. It's not really even a scampi. It's delicious. I'm gonna eat a bite right now. Okay, my date who stood me up. This is what you missed. It's gonna be hot. Shoot. Let's see if I can do it one more time. Crap. Let's get a shrimp in there. Okay, I'm gonna burn my tongue. I know it. Oh my God. I was gonna put this back in the pan and like save it for later, but I can't. I have to have another bite. Oh my God, it's so good. The pasta alone is so delicious. I should have made more pasta. I have to believe it's gonna get better. I have to believe in people and the goodness of people. I have to believe in love. It's gonna get better. That's a great breakfast, by the way. Have a beautiful day.